they neglect the fact that their hands are generally built for this forearm to kind of hang on this 45-degree angle here, and then they actually just change it to fit straight back in the palm. If you are looking to upgrade the quality of your ball striking, a lot of the benefits that you can get from getting that compression and everything associated with striking that ball as well as you possibly can do come from the origin of the grip. And in this video, I'm going to show you my 3 big grip mistakes that I see players make that affects their ability to create that sort of shot. Let's get stuck in. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Kerrod here once again on the range today at Joondalup Resort, talking all about improving your grip at home. And I'm going to show you the 3 big mistakes that I see players make when first addressing the golf ball and taking their grip, which encourages poor ball striking. Now, grip, incredibly important. It's our one point of connection with the golf club. So if you don't situate our hands correctly on that club, well, it has a huge effect on our ability to control the club face. And that right there is the king of start line direction. So we need to ensure that we are gripping the golf club correctly. But before we get into it, please go down below, click subscribe, click that little bell if you haven't already, just so you get notified of all the videos like this. If you're looking for more videos on the grip, go to the setup playlist over there on the library and you'll see a bunch which are all pertaining to different parts of the grip and how you at home can improve this aspect of your golf swing. If you're looking for something a little bit more personalized, well, make sure you head over to kggolf.com and I can do online swing analysis and also have a premium video library there for your perusal. But let's talk about the first of these errors that we see with players when they take their grip. And the first is actually, I see it all the time, especially in lessons and then out on the golf course. It's actually in part of their routine. And one of the big reasons why this is quite an error is just based on the way that players go about it. What they tend to do is they tend to take their grip at the golf ball. So let's say that we've stood behind, we've got our target line, we've walked in, and the professional golfer generally, now I know there's a couple that do something different, but generally the professional golfer would have the hands set, they would look at their target, they would set their feet, they would get ready to go and then pull the trigger. Far too often, I see the recreational golfer doing this. They'll set up to it, they'll plant their feet, and then they'll start trying to take their grip. Now, the problem with doing so is twofold. Number one is when they do this, they usually have the club sitting too flat, which is a whole nother video that we're going to talk about. And then from there, as they bring their hand in, they bring it straight from the side. So it whacks on into the palm of the hand. And that right there is absolutely one of the key spots that you do not want to grip this golf club for a functional, proficient grip where you can create the most amount of speed and consistency. So when we set up, if players just bring their front hand, so the left hand for the right hander onto the grip like this, generally we see it in the palm. Now the issue with that is that also increases tension. And when we get a tense grip, it goes all the way up through our shoulders and our neck. And we find that that inhibits the ability to create a well-sequenced fluid dynamic motion, which is what you see with the best players. So what would be the alternative to taking the grip at the golf ball? Well, it would be actually standing behind the golf ball. What we see the best players in the world do is they generally take their grip from behind. They put their hands in such a way, but also the key here is that we're actually doing it on the angle in which we would want to then set up. And far too often, when players put the golf club on the ground, they're not putting their hand in the same alignment that they would want to when they are attempting to try and actually grip this golf club how they would when they strike the golf ball. So right here, very important that we are in fact gripping this golf club in such a position where we're creating this angle, which is what we would want at address. So by doing so, that automatically puts this grip more down in the fingers and gets the pad of the hand on top. Now there's another video that I've posted recently which shows you some of the common errors that we see with the left hand for the right hander, but effectively we want to see it underneath that little fleshy part of the hand there, so you can get that secure hold and allow some wrist hinge to happen, which creates the speed. So once we've established our grip behind, well then we make sure that we don't re-grip it. I don't want to see any of this business over the ball. As soon as you do that, generally it goes straight back into the palm and then we're back to square one. The second error that we see players make in general is all about gripping it too much in the palm. Now, we quickly alluded to it there, and that's more so because of the routine of how players do it. But really, when we grip the golf club too much across the palm in this direction here, what that encourages the golf club to do is stay open throughout the entirety of the motion. So if I was just to set up to this golf ball, this is a great little measure that you can use right here, and we just let our arms naturally hang. Generally what we're going to see with the player is that their elbow crease would be facing slightly out and their palm would be facing slightly down. Now this gives you somewhat of a hint of exactly how that front hand should be looking as you set up to the golf ball. And what we see with players is that from this position, they neglect the fact that their hands are generally built for this forearm to kind of hang on this 45-degree angle here, and then they actually just change it to fit straight back in the palm. And a lot of players actually think that is where you need to grip it. However, a golf club is designed to fit a little bit more down in the fingers, as you can see, and across on a diagonal, which allows us to create the control over the grip. What we are looking for is a secure, tension-free hold. Very similar to how you would play any other sport. You don't grip it really tight with really strong arms and shoulders and try and manipulate it around like this. You hold it securely and you allow that tool, the golf club in this instance, to do the work rather than you trying to force it, right? There's a whole bunch of guys sitting in a room making this game as easy as they possibly can, and most players are trying to make it more challenging through getting their game wrong. So let's trust the equipment manufacturers know what they're doing, and we need to grip this golf club correctly. And the way that we're going to do that is by ensuring it's a little bit more down in the fingers and not so much in the palm. And the final of these is the orientation of the grip. And the orientation just simply referred to, let's call it the logo position of the glove. We're just going to talk about the front hand here today. Where the Cobra logo on my glove there is facing, very often we'll see some players have their hand facing too much towards the camera there, and then sometimes too much on this down. Now, just referring back to the previous tip right there, and you can see that all three of these link together. Effectively, what we want to see when we do grip the golf club is that it's on about a 45-degree angle across the fingers, and then we set it there. I'm actually not too much of a big fan of the whole knuckle situation, mainly because you can have your head over here and see no knuckles. You can have your head over here and see all of the knuckles, but in reality, you could be gripping it the same way and just see a variation of knuckles due to the position of your head. So just be mindful of that. Now, one of the best ways to actually just take your grip is to simply just stand up in front, hold the golf club on an angle like this, place it across your fingers, down in this position here so it's sitting underneath the heel pad. From there, if you can take every finger off the golf club without losing grip, well, that means that it's secure in that hand, and we can see that right there in this position, that logo of the glove is on about a 45-degree angle facing up towards the camera. So let's put all these three together, ensuring that we're not re-gripping over the golf ball. Let's hit one down there. And didn't that just feel wonderful off the face? And a lot of that was simply because I had a secure hold on the golf club and I had my hand positioned. So if you're struggling with your ball striking, a lot of it could be because of your grip. So make sure you go through this video a couple of times and also watch many of the others on my channel, just so you build your awareness and understanding of what you as an individual need to do to improve the quality of your grip and therefore your ball striking. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Please go down below, click subscribe and click that bell. Help me out, share with your friends. I really want to grow this channel as big as I possibly can. And I really appreciate everything that you at home do and supporting me in my quest to make this one of the best golf YouTube channels out there. But as always, if you've got any questions, please ask me below. Until next time, I'm Kerrod. Thanks for watching.